side will be looking at for the K&B Warehouse mark of the day and the Stu Styles goal of the day, not to mention the fact that we'll all probably play a bit of a part in deciding the FM 98.5 man of the match. And, well, of course, Christy Piker, generously provided by Nalinga Steel. She is our boundary rider. Our scoreboard provided by H.W. Greenham and Sons. But as the umpire just goes to one of the Benalla players and has a few words, there's a little bit going on before the game's even started, and one of the Benalla boys is just holding his face. Christy Piker, boundary side, might know more.
Yeah, it's just sort of kicking off number 33, Scott McCormack for Kyabram, and then Brett Cooper for Benalla. Just had a little bit of a rumble there, but Brett Cooper doesn't actually seem like he's in a very good way. He fell over and just staggered there a little bit, and he just appears as though he's been taken from the ground before the ball's even been bounced.
Well, what a dramatic start to our match of the day here for round 3 Goulburn Valley footy. Brett Cooper is being taken from the ground under the escort of a couple of trainers now, and the ball has not even been thrown up and the battle started in any level of seriousness, but already he's making his way from the field. Gus, it's a dramatic beginning.
It is a dramatic beginning. I can't comment. I didn't see it. Obviously, there must have been some pushing and shoving and some fairly hard pushing. By the way, Brett Cooper's coming off the ground. He's pretty groggy at the moment.
Well, here we go. First quarter action. The ball to be thrown up in the middle of Kyabram Recreation Reserve. The clock starts, and going to the ground is Van Shake. The ball goes to the advantage of Kyabram. Pump forward to left half forward flank, but it's Benalla taking it away from that flank. The kick towards the commentary position, and the mark is being taken by Kyabram's Adam Courtney. Now, Courtney immediately in front of us. Christy could practically reach out and take possession of the Sharon herself if she wanted to. He's just summing up his option. He just holds up the footy a little bit and then goes further forward down the line and spots up a teammate there in Josh Finn. Josh Finn adheres to the boundary line again, finds a teammate, releases Scott McCormack into a bit of space, although he's mown down. The ball comes back out to Finn. Finn swings onto the left, kicks to the goal square, top of the square, ball to ground, getting back in numbers. It's the Saints. Anthony Stevens, the former Kangaroo in the AFL, gets it across to Van Shake in the left back pocket, and he'll just slow things down a little bit for Benalla. Now, his kick is long as he goes out to the outer side of the ground, or the eastern side of the ground here. Benalla run underneath the footy, couldn't take possession. It will be Kyabram through the agency of Sirakowski. Kicks the ball forward to the right half forward flank, and bouncing and running out of tarmac as the ball will be thrown in 55 metres around from Kyabram's goal. Right half forward flank, first minute of our FM 98.5 match of the day.
Yes, Josh Finn has been in the play. Number 10, he played a rattling game last week. Ball thrown in on the half-forward flank for Kyabram at the moment. Numbers at the ball, though. Benalla about to release it across. They come through their coach, Jock McFarlane. Couldn't quite free it up, but they did get it there through Rowan Priest, and it's up to the centre wing position. And Mark Adamson, though, just chips in and marks the ball for Kyabram, swings it into the centre of the ground, and coming out there is the captain, and he immediately unloads a big kick up into the forward pocket. They're looking for Newman, who's coming into the back to there, and Oughton, and a quick kick there by that Kyabram player right across the face of goal. There's Newman, couldn't trap the ball at the moment. Pretty desperate stuff in the about 30 metres from the Kai goal, but the relief there through Anthony Symes, who marks, goes quickly into the centre of the ground there, and Benalla with the numbers in their back line at the moment, immediately withstanding this challenge as Matt Sharp swings the left foot right across the ground out to the centre wing position in there. Anthony Stevens, he's had a bit of the ball already, ducking and weaving there. He's hotly pursued by a Kyabram rival. The ball on the deck at the moment, and there's Pretty Willing in the middle of the ground. No one's freed up the ball. In comes Josh Finn again. He's about three kicks in the first 2 minutes of the game. Out Newman couldn't quite trap the ball. Oughton has the ball, handballs it off to Newman. Newman goes left, then right, swings the ball up towards centre half forward. He's the captain here, playing on beautifully there was Scotty McCormick, but he ended up juggling the ball and has been awarded a free kick only about 30 metres out and about a 40-degree angle. So Scott McCormick about to line up, give Kyabram a chance to kick their first goal of the game.
Yes, well, McCormack, just a slight angle. Wouldn't imagine that the acuteness of the angle nor the distance would trouble him, as the umpire's blown time on. As we see McCormack needs to buckle up the shoelaces there. And he's almost certain to put the first score on the board. One of his teammates receiving a little bit of attention to the hand, that's Brett Morgan. But in comes McCormack now for the first score of the game. It's a stuttering start. He comes in, his kick on goal is good enough. to the northern end, and there's the first major on the board. It's Kyabram, 1 straight 6, leading Benalla, yet to score. Opening couple of minutes, Chris Stubbs providing some special comments for us, and, well, not a particularly clean possession game so far, Chris, but nonetheless, Kyabram have got the start they were after.
Well, that's the thing. They've got the first goal, the all-important one. We're at about just over the 3-minute mark of the first quarter there to get the first goal of the match. Ball's still yet to have an inside 50, I think, even for Kyabram.
Well, let's go boundary side for Nalinga Steel, Christy Piker.
I don't know whether this is a wild move or not, but Brett Cooper's just walking up towards the Kyabram bench. I don't know. I'm hoping he's going to keep walking past it, but there's a couple of words being spoken. No, he's turning around now. The runners caught up with him and he's coming back, so he's just taking a walk, but he had a few words while he was there.
Right, the ball in the centre of the ground, about to be bounced, thrown up here. Let's see Big Van Shake. Brett Morgan actually in his back there, and the big ruckman from Benalla will be the recipient of that free kick. I would imagine it's being ferried back to him now. Van Shake goes wide under the centre wing position, but the umpies come back here, and he's ruling that he goes back over his mark. So Van Shake, and by gee, he is a giant of a guy. He's about around the 6'8", I reckon. He kicks the ball long up into the forward line. Bit of an old haphazard kick, though. No one can gain possession at the moment. Benalla with numbers. He's their coach. Jock McFarlane having a flying shot for goal in the back there. Oh, gee, play on there. And that was an incredible bit of play there, but he's ruled that number 4 has actually ferried the ball along the ground, and that was Stevens, and the recipient will be, I think, Andrew Sierakowski. I thought, where's there that the coach might have been unlucky. In fact, he's giving the coach whether that was the free kick or not. He feeds the ball off to Sierakowski, a noted prodigious kick in the Kyabram side, goes to the centre wing. Beautiful mark out there, Jason Morgan, one of the young guns in the Kyabram side. Got a bit of height, a bit of pace and plenty of heart. Swings the ball into Sierakowski, stretches, can't quite gather it in though. Benalla with the crumbs at the ball at the crumbs, and Anthony Stevens with the Kyabram with numbers there, backing back into their back line and managing to hold this up at the moment. In they came against Benalla, and a beautiful lead there out on the long lead, and he takes a lovely mark. Number 9 for the Benalla side in Mark McKenzie, who's one of probably the big threats for Kyabram here today, and he's marked about 30 metres out, virtually directly in front.
Well, McKenzie again, like his opposite number there in McCormack at the other end, just needing to attend to the shoes before he has his shot on goal. He'd want to make everyone count, because typically inclement conditions might prevail and cause this to be a low-scoring game. But McKenzie directly in front, he'll kick from 30 metres out, so he shouldn't have any difficulty with either the angle or the distance, as the umpire just backs off now and blows the whistle again to indicate to mark time to kick the goal. As he comes in now, he kicks to the town end, or the southern end here at Kyabram. His side trailing by 6 points. Early stages, just 6 minutes on the time clock. He lets the ball go onto that left boot, and it is gun barrel straight to the southern end. There's the first goal on the board to Benalla. It's 1 goal straight apiece, and it's the 2 captains that have kicked the goals so far today in our game. 7 minutes gone on the time clock, and we're all tied up here in the match of the day.
Showing a good bit of pace, a bit of toe there from Mark, coming out straight out from full forward position there, and as you said, gun barrel straight through the middle, so it's 1 goal each, 6 points.
And the ball back in the middle of the Kyabram Recreation Reserve, as the umpire just counting the numbers to make sure that everybody that should be there is there, as Van Shake and Morgan go at it again. The big man with the big leap. It's Morgan that wins it down to the advantage of his teammate, working very hard at ground level. The Bombers, they go backwards to go forward. The kick comes out to the commentary side of the ground. It's a little too heavily weighted for the target. That was Adam Courtney, and it will be thrown in just in front of Christy Piker, boundary side. We'll go to her shortly just to keep a watchful eye on the rotations. Of course, Nalinga Steel generously providing Christy Piker our boundary rider today, as Van Shake and Morgan go at it again. Neither player winning the advantage, although they want to go on with it a little bit behind play. Kyabram go forward to the left half forward flank. The ball bouncing over the line, 55 metres from the Kyabram goal. And, well, a comment was made earlier about Jock McFarlane. He's looking good today. He's certainly trimmed a couple of kilos off his hefty frame of last season, and he's looking very fit, although he's giving the nose a bit of a rub right at the moment, so he might have copped one in the scone. as the ball thrown in 55 metres away from Kyabram goal. Van Schaik, Morgan, it's the left hand of Van Schaik, gets it down. Kyabram at the fall of the ball, Stevens down there too, and eventually the umpire will call for it. Right on the 50-metre arc. Let's go boundary side for Nalinga Steel. Christy Piker, they running the rotations like they do in the typically warm days, Christy?
No, they're not as yet, but just to comment on Jock McFarlane, you're dead right. He did take a bit of a knock to the face, and he made a bit of an appeal to the umpire to do something about it, but nonetheless the game went on, but he's still out there trying hard.
Right, the ball back at the centre half back position for the Vanilla side at the moment. It's a timely mark there coming out into the direction of Matt Sharp, the centre wing position. Beautiful, usually raking left foot. Sharp goes, centres the ball up into the centre of the ground there. They got numbers at the moment. Number 39 for the team there in Pat O'Brien switching it across, and Vanilla starting to surge forward. They're a little bit shell-shocked initially, but are now starting to find their feet. Kyabram, though, have the numbers. That's Josh Pell, one of their thirds players, handballing across to his coach, Adamson back to Pell. He comes, the Bombers again. They're looking for players further afield there. They're under season. Paul Burnett, the captain of the last 4 years, wins the ball. Josh Finn is in there for Kyabram to have the numbers, but they just still can't win the ball clearly from this pack situation. It's out at centre half forward. He comes, Burnett, bustling his way through for the Bombers, and he gets the ball down in the direction of Ryan Emmett. Ryan Emmett trying very hard to control the ball, and it's now being switched up to the centre half forward division.
Some big news at Rochester and Seymour. Let's go to Jeff Parry to find out what's happening at that game. Thank you very much, Jeff.
Yes, here at Rochester, plays been held up. We're only going to be a couple of minutes into the game, and collision of players and a Seymour players has been fairly seriously injured. At the moment, we've got the ambulance out on the ground. Trainers have been attending to the player. I can't give you much more detail than that. I'm not aware of who the player actually is, but we're going to be running very, very late today, and for all concerned, we hope the player comes up okay, but every care has been taken. The ambulance is on the ground at the moment.
Thank you very much, Jeff Parry there at the game between Rochester and Seymour, and some worrying news there, and certainly our thoughts and prayers with that player concerned. We're not exactly sure who the player is. More details will come, I'm sure. As it is Benalla with the takeaway. They try to kick outside defensive 50. They do successfully get the ball forward, but Scott McCormack just turns things around, although his possession is not a clean one, and eventually Benalla win it back. The kick comes towards us in the commentary position. It's here on the western side of the ground. Getting first hands to the footy is Adam Cordy. Chips the ball back to the advantage of Sierakowski. He winds up on the left. He kicks long. It's a raking long kick to the goal square. The mark at the back of the pack's a beauty by the Bombers. And that's a very, very good passage of play. Courtney to Sierakowski. The mark taken in the goal square. The little chip kick out. The umpire was moving in to line the player up on an acute angle. He eventually got there, but the player had passed back to the advantage of Luke Quinn. And Luke Quinn now directly in front, 25 metres out, should kick the second Kai goal. He steps up now, makes no mistake, straight over the goal umpire's hat, and there is Kyabram, 2 goals straight 12, leading Benalla 1 straight 6. And I tell you what, that was a raking long kick by Sierakowski, Chris Stubbs. I know your view of that wasn't as good as mine or Gus's, but nonetheless it was a super piece of footy. Kick to the goal square, a good mark taken on the line, and a terrific start by the home side.
You're dead right. That was a beautiful left foot kick, straight in there to the goal square, popped it in the exact spot where it needs to be, and got the result on the board. Is there 2 goals, Kyabram, Benalla 1.
Ball back in the centre. That was Gareth Elton who fed that ball off to go for the player to kick the goal. The ball in the centre of the ground there at the moment. No one can free it up. The ball's still on the deck. Umpire coming in will bounce or throw the ball up there virtually in the midfield. The Bombers kicking 2 goals. Started pretty impressively. This is the sort of intensity they took to Mansfield last week, and the quick kick though out by McFarlane, the coach of the Benalla side, down to the half-forward line. Josh Pell, one of the players who's been promoted from the Kyabram thirds the last couple of games, freed it up, but unfortunately kicked a little bit too strongly there, and it's out of bounds, and Benalla coming back into goal now. It's out about 30 metres out from their goal, and great juggling mark then from Mark Anderson. That was the type of mark he was taking all last week, and he started off well again, goes one way, goes back, ends up feeding the handball out now as the Bombers start to stream out through Heath Barnett, and they're coming around that eastern wing and find a player in Jason Morgan. Jason Morgan goes one way, comes back the other on the left foot, looking for players further afield. Unfortunately, the kick was very, very ill-timed, and the ball goes back into the hands of the Benalla players, and they swing the ball right up to the teeth of goals. Unfortunately for Benalla, though, just 1 point resulting as it speeds across the boundary line, and Benalla doing most of the attacking at the moment, Wes.
Well, we have a report score from Bernie O'Shea at Euroa. Bernie, what is happening out there in the game between the Magpies and the Bulldogs?
At the moment, the Bulldogs are playing extremely well, and they're 4 goals straight, leading Euroa 3 goals 2.
Well, Bernie O'Day, thank you very much for that. That's a little bit of a surprise that you're eluding the home side in that game. But nonetheless, here at Kyabram, it is the home side winning. Kyabram 2 straight 12, Benalla 1-1-7. Although Benalla into attack, the long kick towards Van Schaik. He was second in line. He couldn't quite haul the ball in. Working hard at ground level was that player there in Adam Cole. He has worked across the line. The ball out over the boundary line, just a metre away from the behind post on the, the left forward pocket as it's thrown in. A couple of medium-sized players doing the ruck work there. Van Schaik just didn't get back there in time. Kyabram take it outside defensive 50. They're going to concede the footy as Benalla have numbers, and the player in question there is that player in Jason McFarlane. In fact, the free kick is going to go the way of the Bombers, and it looks like the recipient will be Oliver Boyd. Now, Boyd with a long raking kick finds Morgan further afield, and a good mark taken by the big man wearing number 16 for the Bombers. His kick now to right half forward flank. Newman on the lead, takes a good mark, diving, skidding on the knees. Now Newman 60 from home. There's plenty of space in front of him. A couple of contests if he kicks to a man there. It's a pretty even contest though. He goes to the right forward pocket. His target was a teammate there in Gareth Orton, who takes a nice strong mark. His second nice strong mark of the game. And I tell you what, he set up the last goal, Chris Stubbs, and one would imagine that if he has a shot on goal here, he could really give his side a clear advantage by 11 points.
Yeah, be a good start there for the Bombers' side. It's on a fairly tight angle as he puts the leather on the boot, and it's drifting away and rushed through for the minor score. So that takes Kyabram to 2-1, 13 to Benalla 1-1-7.
Certainly popping up a bit at the moment, Gareth Outen, the former thirds captain. He's a very skillful player, and when he's hot, the ball up in the back. The big fellow there in Morgan, Brett Morgan, couldn't quite get it, but quickly kicked off there by Oliver Boyd, who's come into the side around. There he goes again, out and very hotly processed though, and young Josh Finn, this will suit him. He's coming onto the left foot, swings the ball across the face of goal, but unfortunately rushed straight into the hands there of Ben Fay, who relieves the pressure for the Benalla side. He goes wide, beautifully weighted kick onto the back flank. Here they come through the centre of the ground now. Benalla over the back. Big Morgan couldn't quite get it on that occasion. Adamson's there for Kyabram. The Bombers have got numbers at the ball again. Quickly kicked off by Paul Burnett onto the centre wing position, but chipping in there beautifully was Matthew Sharp, who's been very prominent in this first quarter for the Benalla Saints, and he's looking for a lead further afield, getting nothing at the moment. This attempts to go short and finds an unattended opponent there, and Brett Vallender, the former Nathalia player, coming out and marking virtually without any pressure whatsoever. The ball up into the forward pocket, up. Oh, that is a good mark under pressure, and that Benalla player, I think it was, who was it? Rowan Priest, was it? I'm not sure. I just can't pick his number at the moment, and it was Mark McKenzie again, who's already kicked a goal, and when he gets on a lead, he certainly makes a conviction to get the ball, and a very strong there mark from Mark McKenzie out about 30 metres from goal.
Well, McKenzie, he'll step between the 5 and the 0 if they existed on the ground here at Kyabram. He's kicking to the town end, or the southern end. He's a left footer, so the angle will suit him. He comes in now. He starts it out, and it starts it out right, and it curves left, and it didn't really come off the boot all that cleanly, as there was a bit of an outswinger there to the right-hander, Gus.
It certainly was, yes. A nice little bit of spin there.
And Benalla move along to 1-2-8. They trail Kyabram 2-1-13. 5 points to the buffer. We've gone 17 minutes on the time clock as the Bombers bring it out to the commentary side of the ground. Let's go to Deakin Reserve, where John Starrett has a report score from the game between Shepparton and Mansfield. Thank you, John. How are things travelling down there at Deakin Reserve?
Yeah, it's a pretty close contest here at the moment. Shepparton 2-2, 14 to Mansfield 2-4, 16. Not much in the game. Mansfield open up dominating the game, but Shepparton got back into it. In fact, they've just scored another goal through Nick Allen and have gone on to a lead 3-2 to 2-4. In the reserves, the score was Shep 11-15, 81 to Mansfield 5-5, 35. So a good win to Shep in the Resi.
Thank you very much, John Starrett there at Deakin Reserve for that report score. In the meantime, it's Brett Vallender with a shot on goal for the Saints. His kick starts right, it drifts left, it is through for just behind. There's the third behind on the scoreboard for the Saints. The margin shaved back to 4 points. It's Benalla 1-3-9. They trail Kyabram, the home side, 2-1-13. And Chris Stubbs, certainly Benalla needing to make more of their shots on goal than they have in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, the first 3 shots in the match are all straight goals, and now they're starting to get a little nervous, maybe starting to pep away at the goals a little. A few late swinging ones as we have the ball back into play.
And another badly judged kick-off there from Heath Barnett has found the Benalla player in Mark McKenzie, who's come out from the goals. He's looking a bit ominous up there, McKenzie. Gets the ball deep into the goal square. Luckily there, the Kyabram coach read it beautifully. Adamson out on the left foot, goes wide to the centre wing. A racehorse job here, and number 14 for the Kyabram side leads them, and that's Luke Quinn, and the ball up onto the half-forward line there and being chased over the line by the Kyabram full forward in Paul Newman, who might be out centre half-forward at the moment, hotly pursued by Ben Fay, but it's down on the half-forward flank for the Kyabram side, and a good saving bit of play there from the Kyabram coach, Mark Adamson, who's already showing his wares in this game, Wes.
Yes, indeed. I'll tell you what, Kyabram are able to move the ball quickly, aren't they? Very, very fluent, which is great to see. The ball thrown in 55 metres of ground from the Kyabram goal. With the takeaway now, it's Benalla, though, through the agency of Brendan Stevens. His kick around the eastern wing, the ball off hands and will be thrown in. Centre wing here at Kyabram Recreation Reserve. It's the home side, 2-1-13, leading the visitors, Benalla, 1-3-9. We have gone 19 minutes on the time clock as the ball's thrown in by the boundary umpire. Van Schaik was in position, but the ball just didn't carry that far, and Stevens, who was front and square, did the actual ruck work, just took it out of the ruck, kicked forward. Getting there in the way, though, for the Kyabram side was Josh Powell, but the ball in possession of Benalla. They will concede possession because the umpire deemed that player in Anthony Symes just did not move the ball on nearly as quickly as he should have, and the free kick will be taken by Powell. His kick to his team's advantage goes out to the centre wing region as Kyabram just slow it down and look for options. Benalla working players back now behind the footy. They really need to man up here as Kyabram lead by 4 points. The kick now towards Newman's advantage. He's at the front of the pack. The ball punched away. Benalla, though, at centre half-back, tried to take it away. Here's Rowan Priest. He's an electrifying young player, the rising star of 2005. He kicks to the commentary side of the ground. The player there that he saw as the target was Matthew Sharp, but it's taken on this occasion by James Martin. He kicks forward, but Priest in the way. Oh, and a heavy contact from behind. Rowan Priest is knocked to the ground. Paul Newman late on the scene. I'm not sure that there was any terribly intentional about it apart from an effort to spoil, but that was a very heavy contact, and 50 metres will go the way of Benalla, and Paul Newman, a couple of players moving in to remonstrate with him. Young Rowan Priest, he's only a lightly built fellow. He will be the recipient of that 50 metres. I believe we might have a score coming through. Echuca Shepparton United, I believe it might be. Brett Lunghausen, what's the score up there?
Brett Lunghausen reporting from Echuca. Echuca are 5 goals straight, 30 to Shep United, 3 goals, 4-22.
Well, plenty of scoring in that game between Echuca and Shep United. Thanks very much, Brett. Echuca, the home side, leading, kicking straight, 5 goals. It's Benalla into attack through the agency of Rowan Priest, and they will be the recipients of another free kick as Brett Vallender has it at right half forward flank in front of us in the commentary position. Benalla trailing by 4.
Yeah, Vallender starting to make a presence in this game, giving them the target up there with McKenzie, and the umpire has ruled the ball will be transferred back. I'm not sure what's going on here. We've got 2 umpires making a decision, but the ball is back now, and don't know what happened there, Wes, but anyway, Kyabram ended up with a free kick, which I'm sure they'll be quite happy about. Courtney takes he's the recipient of the mark. He's looking to transfer the ball up to the centre wing position, cutting in there Priest. He's made that recovery pretty quick, but he's under siege. The ball on the deck at the moment. No one can free it up from this pack, and it's a real rugby scrum-like pack at the moment, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball up right on the centre wing position, about 30 metres out from the broadcast point here at the Kyabram Recreation Reserve. Big Van Schaik up there against Brett Morgan, who jostles into the front position. There's that little bustling rover, Josh Finn, getting the ball beautifully picked up there by that player in Courtney, but he was quickly all wrapped up there by a very determined player there from the Euroa side, from the Benalla side in Mark Wright, and the ball will be thrown up again, back almost to where it was thrown up about 3 seconds ago. Back it goes, he's Courtney again. He gets the ball again. He's pretty good in heavy traffic, Courtney, but on this occasion occasion has just weighted his kick a little heavily or gone over the line by about a metre and is on the centre wing position. And the ball comes. Benalla trying to square it up there towards Priest, who's made some beautiful position there, and he's quickly playing on now, and he's got a player streaming downfield in Joe Martinello. Martinello at the moment, though, under siege from big Jason Morgan, who does it well. Morgan feeds out the handball. Here they come, the Bombers. Gets it out to Bernie Weirden. We haven't seen much of him, but Benalla coming back now at the moment. She's like a squash court. It's going back and forward. The ball quickly back into the Benalla half-forward line now, and Benalla will swing on goal here, and he may have dobbed that. I'm just looking for some body language, but just offline again. They are doing all the attacking at the moment, and this Kyabram back line under siege momentarily.
Yes, Kyabram 2-1-13, leading Benalla 1-4-10. It's a fast and furious beginning, and Gus summed it up pretty well, Chris Stubbs, when he suggested the ball moving backward and forward a bit like a squash ball.
It certainly was. We can't get a lot of action up here in the forward line. Just struggling to find the target and giving plenty of room to let the forwards have a run at it as the ball spills out of bounds in front of us here at the commentary box.
Well, let's go boundary side for Nalinga Steel, Christy Parker. No, nothing happening boundary side. I see a little bit of movement with some players warming up, but certainly the rotation's not being instituted like they normally are on a warm day as the ball's worked forward. Benalla, they get the takeaway. The ball pops out to the advantage of Pat O'Brien. He kicks long to the hot spot. Mackenzie McFarlane will be the recipient of the free kick. Called to play on advantage. Was the kick on goal successful?
Yep.
No, it misses. And that's where the advantage rule just doesn't really work, because certainly Jock McFarlane coming out of the goal square on the burst there, it was deemed that Jock should have been given the free kick for over the shoulder. His teammate played on, kicked the behind post just to the right of the goal scoring region. Obviously something was said down there, and now the free kick and the 50-metre penalty will produce a kick from the back end of the square. The free kick is with Heath Barnett. He goes out to a teammate out wide to the eastern side of the ground, and now they come back into the corridor, and the mark's taken by Oliver Boyd. Now Boyd, it's 2-1-13, plays 1-5-11, so it's a 2-point ball game to the advantage of Kyabram, and the mark taken at left half forward flank by the Bombers. A good mark taken, lunging forward on the skid, on the knees, Gareth Orton, who's been a real live wire up there, Chris Stubbs. He's really provided a terrific focal point as his kick on towards goal is actually, he's going short towards Newman's advantage. Newman is coming to rest over the footy. Benalla just jump on top of him and then hail a cab, and the umpire says, boys, you had no opportunity. I have to throw it up 25 metres out. The umpire throw the ball aloft. The big boys go at it again. The clearing kick without taking possession came from Benalla to the advantage of Sharp. He gets it across to a teammate, Stevens, and then in turn he gets it further forward, and the mark's taken by Michael right in front of us in the commentary position. He looks to the fat side of the ground where there's plenty of space, finds Mackenzie, and now he's got Van Schaik on the lead. Van Schaik won't get there in time. He does the crummy, but then he loses possession. Working very hard at ground level is Benalla. The looping handball out of the pack to the advantage of that player there in Cole, although neither side can get a clean possession. Oh, very, very furious and fast in there as we see trying to burst through the pack was Heath Barnett. He loses possession of the footy as quickly as he got it, and now the ball worked towards the left half forward flank. Here's an opportunity though for that player in Adam Cole. His kick towards the hot spot, the mark taken by Anthony Stevens. The siren sounds to end the first quarter here at Kyabram, and Anthony Stevens, with his side trailing by 2 points, will have a shot on goal. The angle probably 45 degrees, maybe a little worse than 45 degrees. Certainly the distance won't trouble him because he'll only kick from about 30 metres out, and he prepares to come in now. He is on the left forward pocket. He's a left footer, so it's certainly not going to suit him, the side from which he's kicking. He comes in now, an experienced former AFL player. Anthony Stevens steps up and kicks that one over the goal umpire's hat. So right on the siren, it is the visitors capturing the lead for the first time in our match of the day. GVFL round 3 action.
Been very impressed with the intensity of all the players, particularly Gareth Orton down forward is providing a real option for the Bombers. Scott McCormick was an interesting one when he went off before the ball was even bounced, so hopefully have an update on that one later on. And meanwhile for the Saints, I mean, Stevens' goal after the siren there to put them ahead was an obviously a quality player. The goal effort by him. Priest went off towards the end of that first quarter, but he's back out in the middle. He's been a good hard little player there. He's got a bit of toe on him, and highlights we saw last year with his victory in the what was it?
The Rising Star.
That's right, the Rising Star, and he's showing that form out there today. So I've been very impressed with what I've seen and looking forward to the second quarter.
Well, the siren's downs, the ball is held aloft by the umpire. Here's Gus Underwood with a second quarter action with the visitors leading by 4 points.
Shake, and that occasion got the left hand to it. They're quickly into attack, the Bombers, though. They did mop up from that, and pursuing the ball out there was Matthew Sharp. Comes around on that left foot. He's been pretty good early, although the opponent's also playing well. It's out to this player up there in Mick Wright, who's also done a bit of damage, and he's actually been awarded a 50-metre penalty here for reasons I'm not sure, but the Benalla side will be well into attack from this little sortie as the Benalla player looking for someone further afield now, goes right out to the golden ball. Good lead there. Heath Barnett, though, was able to get his fist in there, and it's Luke Quinn there in hot pursuit of the ball with young Justin Chambers, and the ball in fact beats them both over the line down there deep in the forward pocket for the Benalla side, who were quickly back into attack after Kyabram had taken the ball from the centre bounce. The ball down on the half forward line on the eastern side of the ground for the Benalla side at the moment. Only a kick in this game. It's been pretty tight and tense in the first quarter. The ball tapped out well clear. He's Josh Finn, been one of Kai's best in the early part of this game. Roking handball out to young Ryan Emmett. He's had a bit of a bounce here and under pressure, though. Kicks the ball up into the direction of the boundary line. In fact, I think it did beat the boundary line. It was out in the full, and that outstretched player was Joe Martinello. He goes to the centre of the ground, and streaming down from the defensive position there was Brendan Stevens up towards the direction of the full forward. Just couldn't quite grab it. McKenzie, the ball on the deck. Benella's got the front runners though at the moment, and a beautiful swing around onto the left there from number 20, and he gave it everything he got, Anthony Symes, and was able to drill the goal. And the Benalla side skipping away here at the moment. Not all that good for Kyabram, although we're only just into the second or start of the second quarter, but Symes coming on back onto the left foot there and kicking accurately to bring up Benella's third goal for the game. They are 3 goals 5, leading Kyabram 2 goals 1, and hit the front Benalla only in the last second of the first quarter.
Yes, 5 goals coming from 5 individual goal kickers. Mackenzie, Stevens, Symes, 1 apiece for the Saints, for Kyabram, McCormack and Quinn. The ball thrown up again in the middle of Kyabram Recreation Reserve, and it's the Bombers that go into attack this time. They go to right half forward flank. The diving attempt there by Martinello wasn't successful, couldn't haul the ball in. Here's Ryan Emmett with an opportunity, although working very hard in defence is Ben Fahey. He comes out to the commentary side of the ground and spots up Brendan Stevens. Now, Stevens will just slow things down at centre wing, and he'll make sure that he picks out an option that he goes to, and he does find that option. And on this occasion, the player in question is David Ferguson. Now, Ferguson has a number of players moving for him, but he kicks along the line on this occasion. The big leap was Anthony Stevens, couldn't haul the ball in with the big right-handed paw, although he steals the ball, picks the pocket of an opponent. They go forward through Martinello. This kick on goal to the advantage of a teammate in Adam Cole. Did he get boot the ball? Yes, he did. Spectacular stuff, firstly by Anthony Stevens, linking work by Richard Martinello, and then finished off on that occasion by Adam Cole. Good effective footy all round for Benalla. They take the lead by 16 points, 4-5-29. Kyabram 2-1-13. Impressive stuff. Chris Stubbs.
An exciting stat for the second quarter here by the Benalla Saints. It's beautiful examples there of roving work in the forward line by the first goal, Anthony Symes, and then the second one by Cole. Just knowing where to beat the right time is just such an important part of taking those opportunities in a football match. So they're looking pretty for this second quarter Benalla.
Ball back in the centre. The Gladiators face themselves across the ring. Up goes Biggs Van Sake, gets the left hand down to it. At the foot though, but it's Josh Finn again there. He's a real tiger, working hard for the Kyabram side. Young Ryan Emmett's in there, couldn't quite free it up. Bursting through there, it was Tony Evans for the Benalla side. Kicks it long up into the centre forward position to Jason Morgan. Those sure hands go up and pull down the kick quickly onto Josh Pell. Josh Pell switching the ball towards the centre of the ground, and he finds Luke Quinn. This is the recruit from Nathalia, who's been pretty impressive in 2 appearances to date with the Bombers. Looking for a kick further afield, ends up coming to the centre wing position. He's kicked to the smallest man on the ground in young Ryan Emmett, who just couldn't quite bring down the mark from the back of his opponent there, and the ball is over the line out of bounds in the only mud patch on the ground right in front of the commentary box. Big Morgan there took the front position, ferried the ball out, but gee, it stacks on the mills. There's about 6 or 8 of both teams in there, and the ball is being freed up in the bottom of the pack, gets to Brendan Stevens. So the ball, true centre wing position here at the Kyabram ground. Not a bad day for football. Over the top, Morgan gets the tap. It's into enemy country though. The Benalla players have got the numbers at the ball at the moment. In fact, we've got the numbers at the bottom of the pack, and the ball will be once again thrown up in here at the, as I say, on the true wing position on the western side of the Kyabram Recreation. Big Von Sick with that left hand again, kicks the ball there, or gets the ball out to the coach in McFarlane. Does it well. Rather, Chambers picked it up, was under pressure. There's comes Kyabram's got numbers at the ball, but he's ruled that that player in Josh Pell was being manhandled after he got rid of the ball, and Pell will be the beneficiary of the free kick. Looking for a player short of field. Kyabram just sort of losing their momentum a little bit here, but going on a lead there was Brett Morgan. Brett Morgan's got the ball, kicks it up towards centre half foot in the direction of Paul Newman. He's under, but he's helped me pursue. There goes that little tigerish rover in Josh Finn, kicks the ball across. In fact, was dealt with after he kicked the ball, and I would imagine will be the recipient of a free kick out about 70 metres from goal. And the umpire is actually explaining what the whole situation about, and actually Ryan Emmett's ended up with the ball, so he must have been taken off the ball somewhere in that passage of the play, and there he is, the strong hands. Oh, and he's ruled that it wasn't a 15-metre kick, and the ball back in dispute now. Stevens is bustling his way through there for the Benalla side, and it's over the line and out of bounce down on the, that was Anthony Stevens who was bustling his way through, but the ball beats him over the line and out of bounce down on the half-forward flank for the Benalla side.
29 plays 13, ball thrown in by the boundary umpire, right half-forward flank for Kyabram. It is Benalla with the takeaway to the advantage of a player there in Stevens, working very hard at ground level. It was Anthony Stevens there. The handball quickly out of the pack comes from Anthony Symes, out towards the advantage of Martinello, although it is going to be his opponent now, Adam Courtney, that wins it away to a teammate. Eventually, it is Justin Chambers with a kick forward. The opportunity now for Josh Finn. He goes right, then he goes left, then he gets a little chip kick to the advantage of Courtney. Can he gather it in? Yes, he can at 50. He goes for a pass. He's got a man on the lead. Held out of the contest, though. The umpire calls play on. It's going to be the Saints to take it away, or will they? Yes, they will eventually. Doing the roving there on that occasion was one of the Saints defenders. They get it across to Martinello on the eastern side of the ground, and here they go through Jock McFarlane. What can Jock do? He goes to the hot spot. He's got a man on the lead, McKenzie. It's a little too heavily weighted for him. The ball at ground level. There's Cole! Cole's kick on goal is an absolute belter off the ground, and it dribbles through for another major, and that extends the margin out to 22 points. Spectacular stuff again by Benalla Saints, and that's every reason for our listeners to make sure they have a good look at news.mcmedia.com.au on Monday for the highlight reel of this game, because that's a beautiful goal. Benalla move along to 5-5-35, Kyabram 2-1-13. There is eventually movement boundary side. Let's go for Nalinga Steele to Christy Piker.
There is first swap of the day for Kyabram, with James Martin coming off and Dion Ciavola taking his first run. Now, last time these two teams played, Ciavola was an absolute gun. Had just come down to Kyabram and tore Benalla apart in parts of the game. So look forward to seeing what he's got.
Earlier today we had Euroa trailing to Tura. Let's find out what the progress score is now. Bernie O'Day.
Thank you. Yeah, Euroa opened up reasonably slowly that quarter. Tatura jumped the gun and they got 2 goals on the board very quickly. The 6 goals, 1:37. At the moment, Euroa just goaled then, and they're now 8-5-53.
Thank you very much, Bernie O'Day out there at Euroa and Tatura. Chris Stubbs, worrying times for the home side. They now trail by 22 points.
Yeah, it really is. The Saints are just looking, they've really come out and they're running very, very hard. They're wanting the ball. They've got a lot more options up forward than the Bombers at this stage as the ball goes back into the forward line. And a great grab there from Mark McKenzie. Fantastic strong hands there, and he'll be lining up directly in front from about 30 metres out.
Yes, this Kyabram defence at the moment under siege. They've got Cole in there, they've got Vallander, and we've got this particular fella and Mark McKenzie all presenting themselves and putting enormous pressure on this Kyabram backline, and they're bringing these Stevens boys in particular, making sure that ball gets quickly into the Benalla forward line and they get into the one-out situation, and they've got some pretty potent players up there, and this Kyabram side in a bit of disarray at the moment as they start to put the foot down Benalla. That kick, I think, was pretty accurate too, through, and Mark McKenzie, I think that's his second for the game, drills it with the left foot, and the Benalla side skipping away here, battling to shake off Kyabra in the first quarter, but have suddenly opened up a sizable gap at the Recreation Reserve, and the Bombers are going to have to dig deep here to keep themselves in the game.
Well, from the Linga still, boundary side is Christy Parker.
Yeah, thanks, Wes. Number 28 in Mick Ryder's coming back on after starting on the bench in that second quarter, and Anthony Symes has come off, rather.
Thank you very much, Christy Parker. Chris Stubbs, 4 goals in the opening 9 minutes, and Kyabram's still searching for the first score of the second quarter. You mentioned worrying times, Benalla with all the play.
Yeah, they certainly have. We've got just so many more options up forward for the Saints. Cole's roving beautifully, and obviously Orton up there as well as Mackenzie. Just too many options at the moment for the Bombers, so the Bombers really having to work hard now before this game gets out of hand for them.
50 metres from the Bombers' goal, though. They are into attack now. What can they do? From the ruck work, it's Adamson thrown himself into the action. Can they take it away? There's just a massive players around it, massive congestion, and that probably is one of the ways in which Benalla is actually stifling the Kyabram attack on goal. The ball towards the advantage of Priest, but it's taken away by the Bombers on this occasion. Eventually, Luke Quinn with a kick towards Newman's advantage, and a nice mark by Newman on the town side, the town pocket at the southern end. His little kick, he calls a player forward, and he spots up Josh Finn, and Finn marks 45 metres from goal. And I would imagine, Gus, that Josh Finn really needs to nail this goal just to give Kyabram a sense of the fact that they can retain, I suppose, proximity.
Yeah, they've gone short back to Newman here. They've virtually gone nowhere with that little passage of play, and Newman's probably a longer kick, so that may end up beneficiary to Kyabram. But certainly Josh Finn is actually one of the few Kyabram players standing up as Benalla mount this challenge. In fact, he's trying desperately to stir his teammates up, and this is one of the players who has to stand up if Kyabram's going to get back in this game, because he can be a match winner, as everyone knows, in the Goulburn Valley League. Paul Newman coming in on a pretty acute angle. Let's go from a long way out. It's right across the face of the goal, though, and judging the way the players were drifting back, it was lucky to be a point in the finish. So a badly needed goal for Kyabram going astray there.
Yes, let's go to Echuca and the game against Shep United. Brett Lunghausen with a score.
It's the Echuca 6-2-38 to Shep United 5-6-36.
Oh, very interesting game there between the Bombers and also the Demons. And, whilst the margin between the two sides is starting to spread here, it's 27 points enjoyed by Benalla. Things are really closing up. Although it is Kyabram with a shot on goal. The player in question is Dion Ciavola, and his kick is to the near side. It's an absolute shocker off the boot, and he'll be disappointed with that. It will be Benalla in the last line. So they're starting to have some opportunities now, Chris Stubbs, and they're not really making the most of them, the Bombers.
They're certainly not, and they can't afford to miss those opportunities either. The Saints are running too hard in both directions. They're flooding back very well and making it hard for the Bombers to get a good chance for a shot at goal.
As the Saints take it away forward to the advantage of Adam Cole, right half forward flank. He was the kicker of 2 goals this quarter. They came about 4 minutes apart, but the second one in particular was an absolute belter off the ground. We do see a little bit of movement boundary side. The ball on the right half forward flank for the Saints into attack, but let's go boundary side for Nalinga Steele.
Yeah, thanks, Wes. Brady Cooper's come on for his first run of the day, and going off to replace him on the bench, Bernie Weirden.
We have some KDFL scores filtering through. Thank you to Stuart Mann with the scores from the Kyabram and District Football League.
Kyabram and District Football League scores this afternoon, brought to you by Kai General Engineering for round 4. Over at Talligaroopna, Rushworth, 5 goals, 1-31, leading Talligaroopna 2-14. Across here at Ardmona, Yay, 6 goals, 5-41. Leading Ardmona 3-5-23. Over at Merrigan, Undera 6 goals, 2-38. Leading Merrigan 2 solitary points. Across at Lancaster, Lancaster 3 goals, 6-24. Leading Violet Town 2-3-15. Avenel, close game there. Avenel, 2 goals, 5-17.
At the moment, Merch, 3 goals, 1-19, 2 points the difference. Scores brought to you by Kai General Engineering. This has been Stewie Mann for FM 98.5 Sport.
Thank you very much, Stuart Mann. Our match of the day in the Goulburn Valley Football League Round 3, Benalla 6-6-42 leading Kyabram 2-2-14. Here's Gus Underwood as the Bombers go into attack.
Yeah, Brett Morgan's got the ball for Kyabram, centres it up beautifully to Brady Cooper's just come on the ground and he finds space out there in the centre of the ground, looking for a lead further afield, gets it from out and out on a long lead, strongly tackled, in fact pushed in the back, the umpires ruled, and Gareth Outen will take the kick, and it's a badly needed kick in front of goal for the Kyabram side. They certainly need a goal badly as Big Van Shake comes off the ground here for the Benalla side to have a bit of a spell. He's been pretty prominent with that big left hand in the ruck duels as Outen comes in from about 60 metres, let go. It looks so gun barrel straight, and it's the goal umpire hardly moved an inch or a centimetre in the present terminology, and one goal results, and that certainly is a badly needed goal for the Kyabram side, with the Benalla team kicking actually, let's see, 6 or 5 unanswered goals. So that's the first goal Kyabram's got since the midway through the first quarter, and that brings them back in contact.
22 points separating the two sides. Boundary side, we did hear that Van Shake came off the ground. Who replaced him? Christy Piker for Nalinga Steel.
Thanks very much. It was actually Phil Orman who's come onto the field. Just a bit of a rough rotation there for Benalla.
Thank you very much, Christy Piker. Let's go back to the studios for Riverina Pizza, the AFL score update.
Yeah, 16 minutes into the second quarter, and it's Melbourne 4-5-29 to the Kangaroos 2 goals 5-17.
Thank you very much, Graham McCartney, with that AFL score update. Meanwhile, in the middle of Kyabram Reserve, it is going to be the Bombers with the takeaway through the agency of Scott McCormack. Now, McCormack goes short, looks for a little option at Emmett. He wants to play on, move the ball quickly, kicks long inside 50. He's got a couple of targets. Orton's one of them. He is a ripper mark, and look, he's done it again as he leads out from the top of the goal square. Chris Stubbs, have you seen a surer pair of hands than the fella that the bloke's got the ball at the moment? What a fantastic mark.
It's a fantastic grab there, Orton. He's shown that a few times today, a couple in the first quarter and a couple just in the last 2 minutes as he lines up for goal. He's swinging it back through, started out left, drifts in through, sneaks it in. Orton kicks another goal to keep Benalla at within striking range. Yeah, it's 4 goals now for the Bombers, trailing the Saints on 7.
Yes, got the last 2 goals, Kyabram, and both kicked by Gareth Outen, and Outen is coming out on those long leads and robbing the ball strong. He's always been an exciting player. He's probably only in his about second year of senior football. Did formerly captain the Kyabram Thirds, and did have a stint down in Melbourne, but he is a very, very accomplished player, and he's one player standing up at the moment. Another one there at the moment, Josh Finn in that midfield, just can't free it up at the moment though. They've got the numbers at Benalla. The coach in John McFarlane peels off the handball to the running Anthony Polworth, who comes down the centre of the ground. Kyabram through Jason Morgan though. Morgan lifting a cog, gets it up towards centre half forward. He's met the ball there, Newman, and with a bit of conviction looking to kick it, but a good smother there. This is the Rowan Priest dashing through the centre of the field and getting the ball up towards Vic Vallender. Couldn't grab it though. Josh Bell feeds the ball off. The Bombers getting a bit of run in their game at the moment, and that player was actually knocked over after he kicked the ball, so I'm not sure whether it's transferred down here to Andrew Sirakoski will have the kick.
Deakin Reserve, we have a report score courtesy of John Starrett. Thank you, John. The game between the Bears and the Eagles. Thank you, John Starrett, with the report score from Deakin.
Yeah, John Starrett here from Deakin Reserve. Score here at the moment, about 20-minute mark of the second quarter, is Shepparton 8-4-52 to Mansfield 4-4-28. Mansfield got away to a pretty good start, but Shepparton pegged them back, and their running players are really taking over a bit now. So, it's turned into a pretty good game.
18 minutes gone in the second quarter of the match of the day, but it is only quarter time at Rochester in the game between the Big Cats, the Tigers and the Lions. Jeff Parry online. Thank you, Jeff.
Quarter time scores here see Seymour 5 goals to 32, leading Rochester 3-4-22. Took the players a little bit to settle after that interrupted start of the game, and so things are progressing now.
Thank you very much. It is 18 minutes gone, and it is a 16-point ball game in the match of the day between the Bombers and the Saints. It's the visitors leading as we go boundary side for Nalinga Steel. Christy Piker.
Thanks, Wes. Brendan Van Schaik's just come back onto the field, and he's just gone and positioned himself in his defensive end in the square there, coming off onto the bench, Brett Ballender.
It's the Saints into attack again. It's Benalla 6-6-42, leading Kyabram 4-2-26. The ball at the hotspot for the Saints, but it is the Bombers trying to take it away. Adamson working in there very, very hard. Oh, the steal on this occasion by Benella's Michael Wright. He snaps around the body and he adds the 7th Benalla goal. The margin back out to 22 points, and Chris Stubbs, just as Kyabram were looking to seize a little bit of the initiative, gain a bit of momentum. That's not what they wanted to have happen, and Benalla go forward and kick another one.
No, absolutely. Again, that was just the crumbing in the forward line. It's just sensational effort by the Saints players there. Hard working, hard running. They're chasing the ball out of their forward line as well. Hard chasing, which is bringing them the results.
Yeah, Kyabram need more players standing up in their forward line at the moment. Out and the only target, although Paul Newman's working into the game, but he's under a lot of pressure, and the Kyabram just not freeing up the ball enough in that forward line as the ball is back in the centre, but it's freed up there by Brendan Stevens towards the centre half forward position, cutting across there, young Justin Chambers. He's one of the young players being promoted this year and is a likely long-term player with the Bombers. Kicks the ball across the centre of the ground and finds Luke Quinn virtually at the true centre half back position. Is going to go laterally out to Josh Pell, who's been pretty good again today for the Kyabram side. Down to the coach. Mark Addison trips over as he takes the mark, recovers just in time, gets the ball long up towards that player in Heath Barnett, and Barnett will mark the ball down at the true centre half forward position on the flank there, and in comes Siavola, who's come on the ground and is starting to get a bit of the ball. He's very good with the hands, quick handball though, and another one over the top by Courtney. At the moment though, this Benalla defence is pretty resolute, standing the strain. A quick kick out there to the centre wing position, and the Benalla side has once again relieved the position. Kyabram finding it hard to find a way to goals as Matt Sharp frees up the ball to the centre wing position. Here they come again, Benalla into their attacking zone. They've got players free and they're playing on it every opportunity and looking further afield to square up the ball towards their to the full forward there, who came out and took a lovely judge mark in Mick Wright, who's starting to, I think he actually started in defence. He was doing a lot of work in the defensive zone, but he's starting to pop up every all the track at the moment and put this crowd and back line already under siege, under further pressure.
Well, Michael Wright, 45 up as he comes in to kick his second goal in the space of just a couple of minutes. He starts the ball left and that's where it ends, so he misses to the near side, and the margin is spread back out to 23 points. Leading the Bombers, 4-2-26. Let's go boundary side from the Nalinga Steel.
Yes, thanks, Wes. As quick as it happened, it changed back again with Brett Ballender coming back on the field and moving back up into Benella's forward line with Brendan Van Schaik coming off again.
Well, an opportunity for Siavola. He tries to burst away from his opponent and eventually does. He's got a teammate midfield. That's Brady Cooper, but the kick too heavily weighted for him. Although Cooper might still get it. Bursting through the pack was Big Morgan, but he overran the footy. Taken by Rowan Priest. He likes to run. Now he kicks inside 50. He's got a couple of targets. Ballender's one of them, right at the fall of the ball, but it's taken away by Justin Chambers. His kick to the commentary side of the ground. Stevens, his opponent there, waited for it. That was Luke Quinn, ill-advised because Stevens gets a boot to the ball, and the mark taken by Adamson, drifting back. He's got a very, very good set of hands on him, Gus Underwood.
He certainly has, and that was a pretty brave mark too. He was backing back. He didn't know who was behind him, but judged the mark perfectly, and Kyabram just relieving the pressure slightly here, getting down to the half-forward line.
Boundary side, Christy Piker.
Thanks, Wes. It would help if I had my microphone on. Number 20, Anthony Symes from Benalla is coming on the field with Patrick O'Brien taking a spell on the bench.
Right, the ball back and still in the danger zone for Kyabram. Benalla doing all the attacking at the moment, although it's pinched by Josh Finn. He's been one of the Bombers' best. Siavola's made an impact since he came on the field. He gets the ball quick. He's very quick with his hand. Gets it onto Sirakowski, the prodigious kicking Sirakowski. A nice push in the back there from Gareth Out, and the umpy didn't pick it up. The ball in dispute at the moment. Out will just walk around there and should kick a goal. In fact, muddled the kick, and it's been forced over the line. They're into the for the Kyabram side. I'm not sure what's happening there. I'm not sure what happened to Out, and he had the ball, and did he drop it, did he? tried to dribble it instead of probably should have backed himself and